Last time on the show, we got a chance to speak with Fordham softball captain Kelly Bright on winning another Atlantic 10 championship here in the Bronx. We also spoke to her about her master's project on the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Here's part two of our interview. If you were to try to put this into some sort of context as a senior year for you at Fordham, you've basically had like the dream season. You pick your favorite athlete that's had, won all the accolades in a season. That's been the case for you. And part of that has actually been a few things, I think, which would be important for us to note here this morning. And one is your new job at NFL Films. So maybe share that with the fans at home.
Yeah, NFL. I can't say enough good things. I had this amazing opportunity to internship there this past summer. Loved every second of it. I learned so much. Sports is such a passion of mine, not just playing, but also watching, reporting on. And to me, I've always wanted to tell stories. I majored in journalism, an undergrad, and major in multimedia journalism in grad school. So to me, NFL Films is the perfect combination of that. They have such a high expectation and a high quality of their work. I mean, they win like 12 Emmys every year. It's insane. So getting to work with them last summer, I loved my experience. I knew when I came back to Fordham, I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to remember me, but they did. And I was fortunate enough to get a lot of work here at Fordham Athletics, doing work in their video department. So it was nice to get reps in and get behind the camera and not just be on the field, but be behind the scenes as well, telling sports stories, which is really one of my biggest passions in life. So I'm starting there in June. I'll be working in their production department. I get to work on Hard Knocks, which I'm super excited for. If you guys don't know, it's basically a reality show about training camps in football. And this year it's the Detroit Lions. So I guess I'm going to be in Detroit for a month or two, which I've never been. So that'll be really exciting. But I'm a huge Tom Brady fan, so I'm also excited that he's coming back for at least one more season while I'm working there. So I'm hoping we get to do one or two pieces on him. If not, that's fine. I'm just so excited to have the opportunity to work at such a prestigious place.
And you mentioned that too. I mean, because the stuff that you did with Fordham Athletics, all of those videos, you got a chance to be part of some great teams this year. I think one of the other main dynasties, of course, on campus is women's basketball. And you did such an outstanding job chronicling what they did this year. Of course, everyone I think knows now that men's basketball has been on the rise. You were able to really capture so many great stories on campus. I actually think it's been an impressive spring again for Fordham because you got the softball team, and even something like the Fordham Club baseball team, which has been one of the under the radar stories on campus, someone that we've highlighted here on Bronx Up before. But talk a little bit more about that experience working directly with athletics.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I left NFL Films and I was kind of nervous that I was going to lose touch of that creative side. So I reached out to our video department with Fordham Athletics and I was like, hey, you don't have to pay me. I'm just looking to work. I just want to tell stories. Like, you give me a camera, I'll do whatever. You don't have to pay me. Just put me on a team. I did request. I wanted to do a women's sport. Like I said, I'm a huge women's sports advocate. So I was lucky enough. I did a few football videos, and then my main project really was working with women's basketball, who, like you mentioned, another just amazing team. Stephanie Gately. Just you can't say enough good things about her. Just not just an amazing coach, but an amazing person. And she really took me under her wing. And got me involved in honestly too much. Like, I was in locker rooms with them. She had me I was like in a practice with them once. I had to run like laps with them. And I was like, all right, this might be a little too much, but it was super fun. I got to go to Notre Dame, film there. I got to film at George Mason, Seton Hall, just so many amazing experiences and amazing people. I mean, the girls in that team are really, really special. So getting to capture their season through my own lens and get to tell their stories was something I'll truly never forget. And I think I really grew up as a storyteller in that process, getting to tell these stories of people that I love and people that, we don't really get to hear a lot about women's basketball, especially this year, the whole Kyle Neptune thing. Men's basketball really kind of stole the spotlight, and for good reason. They had a great run as well. And I got to work with them too, and that was really fun. But I think being able to give voice and highlight how great our women's basketball team really was something really special, and it's something I'm so glad I got to be a part of. When my season started, I haven't been doing as much videoing just because time commitments and that kind of thing, but it's just been so fun. And some of my best work, I think, in my journalistic career came during that women's basketball season, getting to put together some pieces for them.
Kelly, we also wanted to share another project that you worked on, which you did an outstanding job. Anybody that's on YouTube needs to check it out, but we've got an exclusive clip here for you this morning, and that's your Masters Capstone, which is on the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Big year for women in sports. So check this out.
Although the proportion of women in the industry has increased in the past few years, the gap between male and female representation is still substantial. Although professional women's leagues do exist, most female athletes looking for a career in sports have to search beyond the playing field.
I use this example all the time, like how many players that I played with at Fordham, at like a mid-major school that was like pretty good, like successfully, who now like have nothing to do with softball. Like they could have been like All-American status, right? But then like our like a baseball counterparts who are getting drafted and different things like that. And like we're at the same level of a school, right? But they have an opportunity to continue to play. And like some of my friends who are some of the best to ever come through our school don't.
Kelly, I mean, just an amazing job. Talk a bit about being able to work on something that means so much to you.
I've said it 12 times in the past 10 minutes, but I just love women in sports. I mean, I grew up, my mom played in college. She played basketball at Connecticut College. She was a coach. My dad's a huge supporter of female athletics. So it's just been instilled in me since I was a young girl that, you know, girls should be at that level playing field. We deserve the attention. We deserve the fans. We deserve the media, the opportunities that men do. And this being the 50th anniversary of Title IX, something that has had such an impact on my life. When it came to making my capstone thesis project, I couldn't think of a better subject to focus on. And Bobby, of course, you were my advisor, so I a lot of credit goes to you in steering me in the right direction and getting me some of those connections that I got to interview. But those conversations with some of those women who are in the industry and who have done much more than I have at this point were really special. And I huge shout out to them for being willing to talk to me. And most of those conversations, you know, it's a 26-minute piece. I think each of them is only featured for, I don't know, like 6 minutes max, but most of those conversations were 2-3 hours long, and they were so open and candid about the state of the industry. And I really learned a lot from them. And I think something I really took away from each of those conversations was how passionate each of them was in terms of giving back. And I think Isis Young had a quote about pulling as she climbs and wanting to help future generations of female reporters, female athletes, female coaches, whatever it may be, female analysts, and wanting to continue that cycle and grow that base. That really stood out to me. And the fact that all of them were willing to help me with this project was really cool. But I also learned a lot going through this. I didn't know how drastic still, even though it's been 50 years of Title IX, how drastic some of those gaps are, especially just between representation in terms of gender in the industry that I'm about to go into. I mean, it definitely has improved significantly. I mean, you just look at if you turn on ESPN now, there's usually at least one, female on the screen, which is really cool to see, especially women of color. I mean, some of my favorite analysts and reporters, Maria Taylor is one of my favorites. Mina Kimes is another. They've just grown into popularity, and it makes me extremely excited for the future because I really think that's just the beginning. I truly think we still have a long way to go, but we've come so far. And just knowing how, again, like I mentioned, how passionate these women are in furthering what's already been established, I think we've just seen the beginning in terms of women in sports. But this project was super fun and something I put my whole heart and soul into. So it's been so touching how positive the feedback has been to those who have seen it. I highly recommend people do check it out because, again, like the more coverage and more attention women in sports get, the better. But it was something I'm really, truly proud of. And Bobby, again, thank you for being a part of it as well.
Excellent too, Kelly. And it's been an honor to work with you, and just a remarkable, like I said, remarkable entire Fordham career, but especially I think your senior year in terms of being a star softball player, a WFUV 90.7 FM beat reporter, which is a big deal, working with some of the teams, working with Fordham Athletics directly, and now the new news of NFL Films. She is the queen of diamonds, whether she's diamond or out and about. We wish you the best of luck. Very excited for your future, Kelly.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.